My name is Richard Seymour and I'm a location photographer based in London. The vast majority of my work is shot under available light conditions, shooting everything from aerial photography through to urban landscape and work for the automotive sector. So what is available light? Well, it's defined as any source of light that is not explicitly supplied by the photographer for the purpose of taking photos. We decided here to showcase this by collaborating with Rafa Cycle Clothing on a professional photo shoot with some of their riders. Here's what we captured. Shooting in late afternoon sun can be relatively straightforward, but offers some stunning shooting opportunities. Known as the golden hour, this is a well-worn path for photographers keen to capture those minutes leading up to sunset. Shadows are long, the colour temperature is warmer, and it washes over buildings, landscapes and people with a particularly beautiful light. Portraits shot during the golden hour get an instant glow to skin that's very flattering. There's still enough light for smaller apertures or higher shutter speeds. Here with our cyclists, we've taken advantage of the low sun position to backlight the photo. For our landscape, I decided to use a tripod, as this gave me the opportunity to maximise depth of field with a small aperture and slower shutter speeds. Details become well defined as the long shadows provide a three-dimensionality to the scene. The best sunset shots do require some planning. For this picture of our cyclist, we used a sun plotting app on our phones to confirm the position of the setting sun, and we then located a perfectly orientated straight road to capture the scene. Expect to use manual exposure settings or exposure compensations of between +1 and +3 stops, as the camera metering will generally read the scene as brighter than it really is. Think about using the bracketing option on your camera if it has this function, taking a range of exposures of the same scene which you can then review to see which has the most pleasing effect. If possible, get to your promising location early and be prepared to wait. Shoot through the various stages of the fading light to capture the optimised moment. You will probably find a telephoto gives you much better results than wide angles, as the sun will be bigger in the frame and it will compress the perspective. This is that time of day after sunset when the sun is just below the horizon. It's characterised by a soft, faint light, which makes this a favoured light of car photographers. This is a great light for shooting skies. A tripod is essential. I'd also suggest using a remote shutter release if you have one. The light changes quite quickly, going from orange to blue in about half an hour, so shoot through this time frame to see which gives you the best results. I used the Leica S for this shot, as its incredible dynamic range helped me capture the challenging scene. Shoot raw if you can, as this avoids issues with white balance, which is difficult for cameras to judge accurately at this time of day. There is a unique and recognisable quality to portraits and group shots taken under campfire light. The light falls off quite rapidly, so the subject should be within a couple of metres of the fire, which does need to be a decent size with good flames and ideally some sparks. Position yourself on the opposite side of the fire and shoot through the flames. Be prepared for high ISOs, slowest shutter speeds and large apertures, which will happily give a great bokeh effect to the outer focus highlights. Heat haze, sparks and flames all add to the atmosphere. Be aware of the wind direction so you avoid smoke either blowing towards the models or directly towards the camera. We shot with the Leica SL, which focuses really easily in low light conditions and also has low noise levels at high ISOs. Shooting by torchlight is undoubtedly one of the most challenging available light sources. Light levels will be extremely low with a fairly narrow arc of illumination. We chose to capture the riders checking a puncture. I used the dramatic red from the rear bike light to bring out the texture of the wall, and Matt disconnected his light from his bike to illuminate Kat's tyre. The Rafa reflective clothing helps us a lot here, as it provides lots of reflective surfaces for the torchlight. Expect to use high ISOs and use a very narrow depth of field again. Interestingly, with the Leica SL, we could have gone up to an incredible ISO 50,000 if we'd needed to. Thanks for watching. I hope you found these quick tips for available light photography useful.